This has got 300C. We're going to change the brakes from this to this. So we're going to change the brakes from these. These are M-Tech brakes, and we're going to be doing them. And these are the front brakes, massive chunkers. They are 345s, and they're for the fronts, and these ones are for the backs. I put the back pads with them, and the front pads are over there, so we keep them all together. Put them around there, and these boxes are nice and weighty, so they will never fly away on you. But like I said, and that's the 320 with the housing for the handbrake for the shoes to sit in. So that's where they're sitting. So we're going to fit these, and we're going to do a 5x tutorial. And to be honest with you, the system what we have here will work with with most cars. It's just the back is going to be slightly different. The front is pretty self-explanatory. The only things you may have in the near future is, let's say we got a hybrid car. The front brake system may be a little bit different. I'm not too sure. If you got electric parking brake for the rear, you're going to need a scan tool to remove it, well, to get it disabled. Well, it's called maintenance mode, really. But yeah, so you're going to need a scan tool to do that, because this is a classic hand brake system, apart from the foot brake. And so, to be honest with you, there's no problem here with these cars anyway, the Chrysler 300s. But let's say you got a modern car, and you're trying to look at this video for that, you're going to notice there's going to be a bit of a problem. But either way, though, you know, yeah, going to be nice and simple. So we're going to crack this on, but just to show you, this is all jacked up in all four places, only because I was painting the calipers last night. As you can see, they're nice and black. So I was painting them last night, and so me having them all jacked up was more convenient. You can do all four brakes without it being jacked up in all four places. You can do it in two places if you must. You don't have to, but this is just a, you know, little thing just to make life slightly easier. But if you want to jack up, there's a lovely cross member under here in the middle of this one anyway. So there's a cross member here. You put your finger in this hole, actually, you can actually kind of feel it. There's a bit of lump of metal, and there's actually spot on in the middle of these two. So if you have your jack stand in the middle of these two, you don't actually have to take all this off if you don't want to. If you want to be better safe than sorry, you can do. But like I said, I didn't, and that's just basically what I did. So I just put it right in between these two. There's a cross member straight across here, and the sump is right there. So you do have to be careful. So the sump is just over here, and the crossbar is here. So you have to obviously try to get it precisely in between these two flaps of the under trays, because like I said, there's a cross member there. That's where you can jack it up from, and that is be your best bet. Now, for the rear, you can either, once I get in a nice good position to show you without me getting caught on the jack stand itself, it's not actually doing nothing, but still. So there is a crossbar in there. So basically, I showed you the best way to jack it up, at least my ideal way anyway. You don't have to follow it, that is your choice. You can do it, you know, side by side if you really want to. No judgment here. I'll just do it, trying to do it the quickest way and the best way, in my opinion. But anyway, so undoing these wheels is plain and simple. Mine's already loosened, just because that, like I said, I was there last night. What's the point of me tightening it up? So for the video purposes, I put them back on, so then we can go through it. And on this video, I will only go through the one front and one back, because time is in the essence. So only one front, one back will be done for the video. I will do the rest, but I will show you how to do the discs and obviously the pads, and to get off the carriers, because they are quite tight. You do have to be careful when you're doing the carriers, because they can snap. So if you do it carefully and you're trying to remove I used the breaker bar. I think the rear I used an impact driver just because it was on there good. But just to shake it up a bit and then get some penetrating grease and try to get it, because these were on there, like I said, rather good. There wasn't removing for no man. So yeah, so we're going to crack on and get this started. Right. This is everything we should be needing. Some bits and bobs for just in case we're going to need them. So a good decent toolbox is handy. A 1/2 inch set, removing wheels with a 1/2 inch set, a lot more easier and simpler. A breaker bar, you're definitely going to be needing one of them, because tight bolts, good luck trying to get that off a single ratchet or a spanner, good luck. Having a breaker bar, more torque, more power, unless you've got an air gun. If you have one of them, lucky you. I don't. So, breaker bar is my win-win scenario. But then again, like when you come to torque it, a breaker bar is always handy. I'll talk you how to torque it. See what I did there? Torque it. Trying to torque it through you is a lot more difficult. So what I'm going to do is show you how I get them done. My wheels never failed on me ever since I've been doing this. So to be honest with you, a lot more handy. Obviously, what's it? Brake cleaners. Going to need them. Penetrating fluid. Good thing to have. Copper grease, you're definitely going to be needing them. You either have a spray form or the ply on brush form, which less messy but handy when you're doing little things. It's quite handy. So obviously a brush for it. So we're also going to do sliding pins for the front. Back is going to be the same thing. I'll put all the links in the description and the company and whatnot. But having sliding pins is something that needs to be done, because one of them, funny enough, only one sliding pin is gone on that car. Only one. The rear's already done in the past. But so yeah, these are the ones I used. I'll put a link in the description so you got them at hand. I will do the rears for you just because why not? I say no because no, I can't. But anyway, so this is everything we're going to be needing to remove the rear wheels, front wheels, etc. The sliding pins, the sliding pins, the calipers, the calipers carriers, and everything. So let's get on with it. Hello, this is Goth300C here. I just want to cut this video short and tell you about the Chrysler 300 mob who helped me source these brakes. I paid for them, so no free products or nothing. So this all came out of my own pocket. So this is sponsored by Chrysler 300C mob. You get 40% off on disc brakes if you sign up for the gold membership, and you'll be part of the club and the mob. So hope you're loving, hope you're rocking, keep going. This is 300C mob signing off. Let's do this. So got a wheel, we're going to remove it. I'm going to get our sockets. So we've got that. What was that? That's the 18. This is for, so yeah, so the 18 socket, that is for caliper carriers, is where your pad sits, and this is what this nut will be going to be needed for. And I think I forgot one item, so we're going to get that. Found it. So this is the 19mm, and this is what I'll be needing for this. You guys may need a different socket for your nuts, because they might be, you know, we're going to need a different socket for our nuts. Exactly. So let's remove this. Like I said, I already got this removed kind of, so doing this is going to be a lot more easier for you guys. You guys will be needing that better. So that's all off. So let's go and take this wheel off. So taking off these wheels are going to be exactly the same, unless you got a lock and reel nut, and then you need to go and get that. I don't have it. To be honest with you, I hate them. They're a nuisance. If they break, you do not want to be the sucker to take them off, I'll assure you. I never take them off, but I've seen plenty of things that apparently they are the most pain in the ass things to remove. So, unless you got one of them, then you need to go and get that. But either way though, taking off the wheel is not rocket science. So we're going to pull her off. This. I'm doing this obviously in one hand. Two hands is a lot more easier. So just so this is what we'll be looking at. We're going to remove this. Obviously mine's a bit painty because I painted mine. So, don't have to. That's just what I did. So, bolts in question. We're going to put the light on and give you guys a look-see. So, the bolts we need to remove is... let me kind of get you where we're looking. So, we're going to need removing this one. That is for the carrier. So, that is for this piece here. I didn't paint it all the way because... why should I? Do I see back here? No, and you're going to be moving this bottom one here too. So both of these need to be removed, and then we can actually take off the entire assembly. So once we removed all this, and we do need to take off the slime pins. Like I said, I'm going to walk you through the slime pins process. It's very simple actually. And one thing I did forget to mention, while we did get that other toolkit out, we're going to need a flathead screwdriver, because we need to take off the boot. So let's go and get that. So yes, so we've got a flathead screwdriver. Funny enough, we do need a, I think it might be a 10mm, I think. We're going to find out. So for the sliding pins, you're going to need an 18 and a 13. Focus. There we go. So a 13 socket. So that is just to remove, to hold something on this bolt while you're undoing this one, and then that should separate your caliper from your caliper carrier or pad carrier, whatever you might want to call it. But once you remove these two as well, you should get access to the pads, the sliding pins. You don't have to do the sliding pins all the times, only if they're knackered. Like I said, this one on the bottom there's a hole somewhere down there. Once I'm pointing in the right direction, there we go. So somewhere down here, there's a hole, and it's leaking. So this one definitely needs to be removed. But I'm going to remove them as sets because it's a good way. It's a good way of thinking. Why? Because you change obviously the pads in sets, you change the discs in sets. You don't have to do all of them, but because I need to do all of them this time around, so I'm going to do all of them. But like I said, you're only going to see one front and one back, just because it makes things simpler. So I'm going to remove all my wheels. Be with you shortly. Alrighty then, so I just removed all 4 wheels. Like I said, you don't have to. And if I would advise you, when you're removing your wheels, keep them all into the same place. So let's say I've got my front there, I've got my rear back there, and on the other side is vice versa, because it keeps it handy, means that you do not need to remember which one's which. So that's always the best. So we're going to remove this. So we are gonna start to remove the caliper first. This is a 2-hand job, so you guys are gonna get the gist, hopefully. Or you're gonna get me effing blinding. How do you do this? Can I do it from up here? Ooh. Nice. There we go. Perfect. That's the second one I broke, but generally The idea was to remove them because we're going to replace them anyway, so I've got no problem with that. If you want to replace yours, you can do. Hopefully it shouldn't be as tight as mine, because possibly I shouldn't actually put lock nut on here. Well, I should have the little to the very least. So when we do my other ones, I'll put a little one there. Right, come on. Right, now we've got to get 2 hands again. Yeah. So get it off. Oh, I did actually forget to mention one other tool we're going to be needing is the caliper press. Oh, I'll get that out and I'll show you it. So that's caliper off. Bit of pain in the ass I want it to be, but hey ho, it's a pain in the ass. Right, we just need to find somewhere to hang this now. Just hang it. Right, so I've got my little box. Just a little something just to keep the caliper on, so it's out of my way. So we're now going to remove these bolts here. Those bolts. Remove them, and you're going to need an 18mm socket, and I'm going to need my 1/2 inch. I know I did use the 1/2 inch for them because they shouldn't have been that tight. Literally they don't. Alright, so that is carrier off. Looks beautiful and disgusting all at once. Right, we're going to stick that back down, out of our way. So, here we are at. So, got a carrier off. I'm keeping the pads in there. As you can see, this one is wearing down, and that's because of the knackered silent pin at the bottom. Silent pins are knackered, they're going to get stuck. Well, they're going to break off. But no, they're just going to leak. So, you can see, it's all, see that colour there? That's what colour it should be, nice and red. Once I zoom it in the right location, there we go. So the redness is what it should be, not brown or dark. Only reason it's that colour is because water is been getting in. Unless you're me and it snaps off. And then, no biggie. So, you're going to need a flathead. And that is just to remove the slime pins out of the way. So we need time to get it in there. Time to find a slot. Once we got there. So, as you can see, it was in a solid. And that's the hole I made. So, I think that might be the best way to remove it, to be honest with you. Like I said, we're replacing them. No big deal. We'll clean it up. And we'll put the new ones in. So, going to do the other side now. Been a while since I did the last ones. So. Get the job done, like so. That is off. Got my nicely. So, apart from my nicely painted things are now ruined, but we all can fix that. So you can see, all off. We're going to spray these with brake cleaners and get them done. And get cleaned up, because that's not going to fly, buddy. That's not going to fly. It'd be nice if it standard up, but it doesn't. Hey! Ooh, right. Right, clean up. Clean up inside. So, right, now we just need to get a wire brush, which is here, and that is just to give inside a clean. So, let me bring it down again. It's going to make life simpler for me to do this two hands. Now, we're going to get the new ones. We're going to get them back. So, got a new pen, got a new rubber seals, and you just pop them in. Don't need to grease them up. This is, no, it's done me a bit of grease, but one thing I do like to recommend though, do not use copper grease for sliding pins. You're only going to wear them out. Use red grease. Red grease is for them. It's red rubber grease. I'm just going to put a little bit of a touch on here. It's not a sealant. It's not a you know, something to get stuck. It's literally just grease. But it's red rubber, and this is especially for rubber seals. I know this is not the rubber part of it, but if I can get it in there just a little bit eased, the sweeter it's going to be. So we're going to pop that in there, give it a bit of a thwack, something a bit more even. Just to make sure it seats nicely. There we go. That is in there. One thing I will do though. But now is the job you guys mainly came here to see. Right, so we're going to pop this off nice and easily, and if you guys want to, we can inspect. Just put that there, so this is out of the way. So this is the old one. You can see this has been used, and you can see it's got like little burns, fractures all along there, and as you can see it's quite lipped as well. So this is had it. It's warped, as far as I'm aware of, because there is little dimples in there, little grip. Well, not obviously these marks, because this is just rust when I was cleaning it, when I was doing the calipers. But basically it's got a little indentation, so when you rub your finger you can feel a lump in there. So you can imagine my foot pedal is having a heart attack. Right, I'm going to move this out of the way. One thing that's a good idea, actually, one thing I will do with you, we can see the difference. Like I said, all this stuff is from MTech, not the sliding pins, because that's from eBay. But, yeah. Let's go and take that. You can see the radical difference. You need to tell me which one looks better. Sure, the old ones. The old ones are freaking marvellous, aren't they? Yeah, nice and rusty. Yeah. So so we're going to change our ones with these. Actually, you know what? Now we're going to change them back to these. I think that's a lot better. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So going to put new ones on. Hey! And so you can see, nice and rusty. So this is the preparation we're going to have to do to get these right. So we're going to need to clean these up. So we need our brushes. I've got other ones, but this is the one I got at hand, so I'm just going to use it. So we're going to clean these up a bit. Going to give it a spray with brake cleaner. copper grease these, and then brake clean the brake discs as well. So once we've done that, we can start applying and rebuild everything. Do a discussion on it. So we're going to clean this up. So put a bit of brake cleaner on there. Dry up a bit, because like I say, we are going to be needing to spray these. Don't any more contaminants on them. So, as you can see, a bit nicer, a little bit flatter to go off, and now we can actually go and get the new calipers, new brake discs on there. So, going to need our spray or brush version, doesn't really matter. Not in this part. This part is literally just get it prepped. They can't be too bad because they actually were on, like they actually came off quite nicely. They wasn't seized on. I didn't actually have to use the hammer. Sometimes you would need the hammer to actually go and whack these off. But a little bit at a time is always handy. I think that could use a little bit of a rubbing. But, you know, put anti-seize stuff anywhere, you know, it's always handy. Just put them in certain places so then you can actually protect it. So like I said, when you put on new brakes, new discs, and when you put the wheel back on, you won't have a problem next time to take them off in the next couple of years. You know, it's probably all would be long gone by then, but hey ho. So we're going to get our discs. So get our disc. Whoop. There it is. There's our disc. Get this out. And we're going to clean her up because it's going to have grease on there. Only reason is so then it doesn't rust in factory or in transport or sitting on the shelf. So I'm going to give it a good old wipe down. There we go. Give it a good old wipe. Get all that grease off. And we will be doing the same thing to the back. So that's that. But I will do this one. Just get a little bit of a touch up with this stuff. So at least it's a little bit lubricated. So I'm going to pump this straight on. Whoop. This is nice and simple. Whoop. Put that on like so, and as you can see, marvellous. It will sit on the side because we haven't got the carriers on or nothing. So we're going to put everything back together as which. So we are going to put the carriers on first, and we're going to get them prepped. So got the carriers. We're going to clean these up on the inside. So brake dust and what's it called? Going to put brake cleaner on there. All the other bits and bobs to keep them clean. And this time I'm going to put that there. So I'm going to clean these up. So we're going to get our pads. As you can see, that was the rear one. So you can see, pretty knackered. See him getting warped on one side, and he's been scraping on the squeaker. So when that'd be your indicator when your brakes are going down and need to be changed. You don't want to be sitting on that mark for too long, because then you will be needing to replace your discs as well, because they'll be too knackered. So nice new ones, nice and chunky, and they'll go straight there. I'm joking. Nah. No, they don't. Actually, they will actually. So, got our backing plates. I'm going to pop these on. So, it says fit. So, hey ho. Yes, sir, we'll fit it. Once I get my camera in place. There we go. So, put our rungs on. So, yeah. Put them on. So sit as so. Yeah, there we go. So get 2 of these set up. Understand what they are. So pop these back on. There we go. So we've got our rungs in place, our backing plates, or shims, I think they call them. Packers, as I like to call anything that does this job, because I'm a carpenter. You like it or lump it. And there's no actual sliding plates for these. So all we need to do now, get copper grease and copper grease inside it. So got all that copper greased. So our pads will go inside that. But first, we need to go and screw back our caliper now. So what I end up doing is get a 13mm piece. Get one of these. Get a long socket. Because I don't actually have the right piece for this, because these are not grooved. So they are actually push fit. They're not screwed in. So you put your, because this is a 3/8, sorry. 3/8 socket. So hopefully you guys can see this. So we need to put our plate inside there. And this is tough to do in one hand. So we're going to have to put it down. So get our backing plate, an actual thing. So we put it in there. And so that is what I did. So slot this in, and now we're going to turn this back. But we don't want it to go all the way back. We just kind of want it just enough so the so it will slip over. And one thing I did forget to mention, which we'll do now, I'm just going to get this in hold so I don't have to remove it. So what we're going to do is, as well, we're going to go inside the car and release the bonnet. Hey! Release the bonnet. Oh. So we're going to open it up and going to find the steering, the brake fluid, which is in here. Yeah. So there it is. That's dirty. Got a few leaves in there. We're going to give this a few cracks. So yeah, we're going to give this a few cracks. Come on. Oh, sorry, I'm done. My bad. So yeah, just going to pop this there. So it doesn't have to go all the way in, don't have to be off, just needs to sit. So when we come in, we can actually push pressure out. So, yet again, do this. So you guys are there, hopefully facing upwards. And give this a few turns. You could use the bleeding nipples, but I don't want to waste fluid. So yeah, we just want it just back enough. So if I put it with, that'll be all the way back. Okay, that's probably all the way back, so we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Generally, you don't really want it all the way back. Not what I just got told, so hey. Now it's time for the hubcarrier to go on, and then we'll grease up our new sliding pins, get them seated. That should able to go on once the pads are in place. So we're going to do that, and this is going to be even harder. Balance everything. There we go. Actually, you know what? Put you there again. There you go. You back up top. There you can see everything. So get your housing in. Once we move the caliper out of the way because it's in the way again. Ugh, calipers, always in the way. Oh. There we go, that's a nice seat. Yeah, that's good. Whoop. That'll do. So, get our housing. Make sure it's nice and give a few little tugs. It's got light tight in there, so it don't have to be too miserably tight, but you want it so then, you know, you just can't give it that extra lug like that, basically, you know. Put a lot of pressure on there, yeah, not a lot. So you don't want it too tight, but you don't want it too loose. Definitely not too loose. That's the last thing you want. Otherwise you might see what happened to my Mondeo when I had a mechanic do my pins. The what's it called? The sliding pins just went flying out. So we're going to put our pads in like so. Put them in. I need our sliding pins in first, actually. Okay, my bad. So we're going to do sliding pins next before we put that on. So, where's my new kit? So, sliding pins, get both of them when you put them in first. So, when you put grease on, put just at the end a nice bead. And that should do us quite nicely to fulfill it. And then when you put it in the boot, it should just smear in. And take it out again, put a little bit more around the edges. Let's see this. And just give it a bit of a turn. So it's nice and you've got enough in there because you don't want to engulf it, really. Got to try and get that piece out of it. Might need to go and get a flathead in there. Okay, if we're going to get a flathead in there, you do need to be careful because you do not. Oh, where's my flathead? Oh. Chrysler! Where are you? I'm always losing things. I see I can't find any of my flatheads, that's quite annoying. Okay. Right. We will be needing shims, because, yeah, my bad. Take them off. Have to use the old ones. Put our shims back on. For some reason these ones didn't come with new ones. What the reason there is, got no clue. Yep, so that's the new one in. And we need another one. So yeah, so these come with shims. Put the shims in. I'll put the seaters in. This is what helps the caliper, the pads sit in nicely, like so. You put them in. They'll be a little bit tight, but that's the general idea. And make sure you spray it with copper grease as well, because I'm doing it backwards. Put a little bit in there. That's the tiniest bit. This is why painting them on is a little bit nicer. Ooh. There we go. Sorry about that. But like I said, though, it's important to give it a copper grease, because it allows them to do slides freely inside. I didn't realise it actually came with them. Well, it didn't come with them. The pack didn't anyway. So just use the old ones. Build this. I forgot what I was after. Well, I need a screwdriver. Okay, get the boot off. So I'm going to get the boot out. Be careful. Hopefully careful. Just going to drag the boot out a bit. There we go. So boot out's on that side. Got a new pin. Going to put a little bit more grease in here. This video has gone to a little bit of a mess, but we're gonna wait for it. We're gonna wait for it. So we've got to try to get that boot just over itself. So get your fingers and just pull it over. There we go. See? Now that's in. See how it's sliding quite nicely. So that's in there. Good. Now we need to go and get the other one. Where I'll put it. There we go. So, make less of a mess of it. So we're going to get our flathead, just stick it in there a bit, pop it out, and there we go. So it's all popped out. And just stick in, give it a bit of just even it, and a bit more, and a bit heavy. But yes. So now caliper time again. Right. Oh. So push our slime pin back so we can get that in. The other side might just need a little bit of perseverance. because it wants to fight me. So we're going to try and do this in suit. So it's a little bit tighter because it is two of them. Because when you're working with one, it's a lot simpler. Get that tightened back. Yeah. There we go. Right. A little bit of a tight one, but it will go in. There we go. See, seated. And that's basically how you do it. A little bit of a long show, but in general, we got her in. Now, for slide and pin bolts, these two, we're going to put a little bit of Loctite on them. And, yeah. So a little, that's the, what am I doing? Put red grease on them. No big deal. So, a bit of Loctite, just at the end, just to give them a little bit of a thing. Don't need too much. Literally, a little dab, like that. Tiny, tiny. And we'll slit her in. Hey! There we go. Get it nice and in. Nice and snug. Heat. So, get that in, but not snug it yet. So we got our bottom, get our bottom one. It's got a lot tight on there. I'm going to put a little bit more. There we go. So I like tight. Move the camera back. That allows me to. There we go. So put that in position. Preferably move this out of the way. It's just going to get in my way. So, put that in. There we go. You can see it's turning. So yeah, it's turning. We've got a grip. We put you back up there. I should not have moved you. And we'll get that in. And I've got one stuck in. Yeah. Nice and snug. This is. Top one, do the same thing. Snug it up. So when you're driving, it won't come undone. There we go. So that is in there. Got a nice new pads, and once I've done all this, I'll show you how to prep the car for it. So then, yeah. So we got all this. Before we put the wheel on, we're gonna put a bit of copper grease on the outside as well. So let's say you get a flat or anything, you don't have to go through hell and back trying to get a wheel off. And there we go. Don't need too much, don't need too little. But that will just stop you binding, it'll stop you getting in the way. So when you're driving, it'll look sweet. So yes, that is that, really. So we're going to get the wheel on. So what we're going to do is put our nuts on, and this is important, very important, when you're doing discs, and when you're doing brakes, and when you're putting wheels on. Not everyone knows this. This is how bad it can be. So when you tighten them up, we need to do 1 and 2 first. We have to do them diagonal, because when you do them diagonal, you get the wheel sitting straight. And then you don't have to go through faffing about trying to actually, trying to wonder why your steering wheel's all funky. So this is important. Very important, actually. It's probably one of the most important things when you're finishing your brakes. So I'm going to stick you there and do this with another hand. You may get this in the shell. Tighten it up. Not too tight though, because we're going to still need to play for the other ones. Not too much play in. So once we get this in, we got somewhere to go with. Like I said, I do as with all my cars. All the cars I had, always been treated the same, and I never ever had a nut come off, or even a wheel pop off for the worst scenario. So next one, we're going to stick it here. Take it off there. So where'd that just go? Stick it. So yeah, so we're going to do it this time. Like I said, I can't stress this enough how important this is. So get that tightened, and then we get one there. Who cares about that bottom one? Actually not. We're going to put one here. Why not? So who cares about this one? That one doesn't really matter. Not in the alignment sense of things. Like I said, I've been doing this with all my cars, never had a problem. So get a nice snug dom, nice on. And just to show how, I will be doing the same story, or the same method with the other side with you, just so how important it is. Right. So, like I said, this one doesn't really matter too much. Only reason it doesn't matter too much is because it's just a 5th one. So, not in my opinion. It's the first 4, in my opinion, is the most important. But like I said, I've been doing this for all my cars. Never had an issue. Never had a wheel come off. Nothing. I'm only going to do it by hand because I break a bar on there, just because it's still floating and we're just going to cause issues for ourselves. So I'm going to do it with the other wheels, and I'll show you again on the back one. Hello guys, I'm going to cut the video short here. It's already under an hour, and there will be another part for the rear because I explained everything for the front. I'm just going to do the rear in a second video, and the testing all in the same video. So thank you. Please sub and subscribe and like, and that'd be amazing. Thanks for your support. Thank you. Bye.